All right, let's move on and talk about the VA seller concessions. So concession is anything of value added to the transaction by the builder or seller, which pays nothing additional and which is not considered customary. And so this is not the same as a conventional or a FHA concession. So in conventional or FHA loans, conventional loans, you can have up to 3% seller concessions, and that's where the seller contributes towards the buyer's closing cost. On FHA loans, it's 6% or the actual closing cost, whichever's less. So VA loans are a little bit different. It's actually 4%, but only some items apply. Some items are actually at the cost. So the items that are limited by that 4% rule are the funding fee, prepayment of taxes and insurance, gifts. Did you know you can do gifts on VA loans? Isn't that crazy? Payments of extra points that is beyond what current market conditions dictate, escrow funds, pay off of credit balances or judgments. This is a really interesting one. So did you know that on a VA loan that you can pay off a veteran's credit cards? The seller can pay off a car note, pay off credit cards, all those type of things. Typically it's done in order for the veteran to qualify. If their residual income doesn't work and the debt ratio doesn't work, then maybe they have that small balance loan that has a pretty high payment. So maybe it's $4,000 or $5,000 that needs to be paid off. That could be rolled into that VA loan through seller concessions. Again, that is limited to that 4% rule. So keep that in mind. Seller's contribution does not include other things. So in addition to that 4%, sellers and lenders can also assist with payment of what's called allowable closing costs, such as appraisal, credit report, recording fees, taxes, title work, origination fees, etc., and prepayment of points as appropriate to the market. So why should a seller accept a VA offer? The presentation is everything. It has easier underwriting, like we just mentioned, little to no lender overlays. It's zeroed down, but it's not an inferior product, it's actually a superior product. We got the extra appraisals, like we just mentioned. These are more valuable to lenders because the lower foreclosure rates and the loan guarantee we just mentioned. It's a great way to honor a veteran. On the right, here's a sample letter that we send out at Ross Mortgage. Well, my fellow loan officers actually sent this letter, but I have one that's very similar in my file that I use. Talks a little bit about the veteran, why they should accept this VA offer, and more importantly, leaves a phone number and more information so they can reach out to us. Keep this number in mind, the VA Regional Loan Center, 877-827-3712, 3702. Put that on your phone, definitely want to remember that. Option 1 is for veterans, option 2 is for lenders and realtors. I believe they're changing that soon, so keep that in mind when you call, but I noticed they have been changing that. MRP program. So some benefits of the MRP program, it's a certification for realtors. So if you are a realtor, you want to consider getting this program. It gives you training on how to best counsel service members and their families in finding housing solutions that are acceptable. You'll get education on how eligible active duty service members and veterans can leverage the VA financing benefits. You'll get differentiation as an MRP on Realtor.com. You also get an exclusive network of realtors to work with. You get the MRP logo, marketing materials. It's very reasonably priced. I think it's a couple $100 to get a member of this MRP program. So if you're a realtor out there, definitely want to consider being an MRP specialist. As you might imagine, here in Dayton area, there's quite a bit of MRP realtors because of all the people we have coming to right paths. It's definitely a great opportunity to help serve your veterans. Ohio property tax exemption for 100% disabled veterans. So for a veteran that has 100% disability. So this varies per state. So the state by state, each state sets its own laws for this. Here in Ohio, it's a $50,000 tax exemption and the veteran has to be 100% disabled, and it's only for the primary residence. So for example, if the property's worth $100,000, $50,000 is taken off the property value. And it's taxed as if the property's worth $50,000, or the property's worth $150,000, they take $50,000 off. tax event that's worth 100. So it's not a complete tax deferral or abatement, but it's just a nice way to thank the veterans and help them out. This is not automatic. You have to file this with the county auditor. And so when I talk to a veteran and I find out the level of disability, I'll find out if they qualify for this. I typically will bring the paperwork to the closing because they can't file for this till they actually own the property. It's just the way it works. So what I'll do is I'll bring the paperwork to a closing and say, here, Mr. Veteran, Ms. Veteran, here's the paperwork to file this. Here's what you need to sign, and here's where to send it in. Once the property's been actually closed and the title's been transferred to your name, then you can file it. And so because of that, because it's done post-closing, the way that works is during the approval process, we have to actually pre-approve them based on the full value of that property, on the full amount of those taxes, the full amount of insurance, and obviously the loan amount. We have to factor all that in, get them pre-approved, and then post-closing, that's adjusted downward. And then the veteran has to reach back out to us and say, okay, I claimed my property tax exemption. Here's my new tax bill. Here's the new amount. And then we adjust those escrows accordingly on the next escrow statement. So keep that in mind as well. Here are some recommended Facebook groups. I'm very involved in Facebook, and I have a group called Right Path Housing Chat, another group called Vets and Friends Networking, another group called NMLS Dayton Alumni, another group that's more of a marketing group called Real Estate Agents Who Get It. So these are all publicly found groups on Facebook. Feel free to look those up. Feel free to private message me for an invite to those groups, and I would love to have you be a part of those communities. Be sure to notate or PM me that you've seen this video, that you're interested, and let me know what you want to contribute to that group. Just so I'll make sure you're not a spammer. I'm sure you aren't, but unfortunately there's some bad people out there that want to abuse these things. So that's it. That's our presentation. We went through it pretty quickly since we don't have our usual discussion. If you are in the Dayton area, once this coronavirus disappears, we'll be doing some live events soon at some point in the future. This is early April when I'm recording this, and we're still right in the midst of this whole pandemic situation. I typically do events in the Springboro area, but if you're a part of a real estate office or real estate community, let me know. We charge absolutely $0 to be a part of this. And there's my Facebook page, facebook.com/cscarpero is my personal page. Feel free to send me a friend request. Scarpero.com is my website. So check that out as well, or cscarpero@rossmortgage.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or leave a comment below. Thanks.